Hello.
Sup?
It's a good first impression. My name's Alex.
And I'm Ruby.
And this is
No Labels.
This is our first episode ever.
Well, the first one we're releasing.
The first one we're releasing, yes.
We got some testers, some bloopers, some behind the scenes.
Some behind the scenes, BTS.
But you can't even see.
Some behind the audio.
As we can see, you can't.
For sure. Well, we have a few things planned for this first episode.
We do. Shall we get into just our backstory, how we met each other? Guys, I would like to clarify, I'm not British.
I think they knew that.
I think they knew that. I mean, no hate towards British people.
In case y'all needed to know as well, I'm not British either.
Do want to ask, though, why y'all putting beans on toast?
Careful. Beans on toast is so wild.
We're getting sidetracked.
Are they buttering the toast before they put the beans on it?
No. I can only picture it as baked beans, so...
It's literally them putting a toasted piece of bread and then baked beans on top.
That's how I picture it.
That is called the stoner meal, where I come from.
Speaking of stoners...
Yes. Quick little fact in case... Oh, no!
What about the med?
I'm spitting it.
Okay. Back to the basics.
Quick little fact in case anyone wants to know. We do recreational activities. And that's all we need to say.
We're recreational florists of sorts.
Florists. It's legal in our state.
It is. But you can't just say recreational because that's a whole realm of unexplored.
That is very true. It's, we do Ziflower.
Ziflower. We are florists.
The Zaza, if you will.
No, I won't. Anyways,
yeah.
We met in...
Wait. Hold on, before we get on to that.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I guess I want to give, a quick outline quick. So we're gonna tell you guys about us. This episode, we just want you guys to really get to know us, get to understand who we are, get a little basics. So this is like a date. They're dating us right now.
Yeah, you're dating us.
We're on a little date.
First date at the pond.
But we don't ask you anything about yourself. We just talk the whole time.
Yeah, we talk about ourselves the entire time.
And then we ask you if you want to go out again.
It's like a really bad first date.
It's like a really bad first date, and we still ask you if you want to come back, if we can do this again. But in the future, though, it won't be like that forever. Promise you it won't be like that forever, because eventually we will want to get to know our audience. But first we have to build one.
Exactly.
Exactly. So we don't
Where's the audience? Are they with us in the room tonight?
Is the audience with us tonight? But yeah, we're gonna just give you a little backstory on who we are, and then you're just gonna get to learn a little bit about Ruby and I.
Yes. This is so exciting. I'm so excited.
Yes, and Ruby, would you like to tell them what you're doing in the meantime?
Yes. So y'all will hear a little bit about this later, but I am currently playing The Sims. It's my way of keeping myself busy while also staying important to the conversation.
Yep. I don't do anything. I just sit. I'm that person at the doctor's room that will just sit there and not look at their phone. And
Nope.
I know, it's such a weird talent that I have. I consider that a genuine talent, to just sit there at the doctor's office and, just sit there, not do anything.
Fidget spinner for class.
Yeah.
Nothing for doctor's office.
It's different when you're sitting in a doctor's office where you don't have to take anything in until the doctor actually comes in and gets you, and then it's different. But when you're sitting in a classroom for over an hour listening to lectures, it's like, I need my fidget spinner.
I need my fidget spinner. I need it.
I need it. Yeah, but okay, yeah, I guess it's a good time then to do what you were wanting us to do before I interrupted you.
So the way we became friends.
Yeah, like how we became friends, because it's a cool and quirky story.
It is. So we met in, I would say,
2023. Yep.
Yes, because you came into the area for winter semester.
Yeah, this was at a college that we met.
We met at a college, and one of the best rooms in the college of all time.
Yes, the only one that was somewhat safe for our kind. Somewhat safe as well.
Slag.
Next to that. Anyways, yeah, we met in an LGBTQ room on campus.
Yes, safe space for LGBTQ people. This is a great time to give pronouns. I use they, them pronouns. Me, Ruby.
I use whatever you guys feel is best to use for me, because I'm gender non-conforming, so I don't really care for pronouns. I say that, and like, I say that all the time, but I do want to clarify, that does not mean I don't care about someone else's pronouns.
Real.
It just means, like, I still respect everyone else's pronouns and what they want. I just personally don't feel I don't really care, to be honest. Oop, I'm cursing already.
I'll honk it out.
No monetization for you.
I don't honking care.
Okay, so how we met was in the LGBTQ room at the college. And I don't really remember most of the beginning of our friendship until the big events.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of like, I'm not quite sure what had you in the LGBTQ room, but I had a lot of free time because I was losing my mind and actively skipping classes. This is a great time to let y'all know I dropped out of college the first time. I was not doing great. And I say the first time, there's no follow-up yet.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. I'm still in college.
Right.
Because the reason why I went to the LGBTQ room is because I had already gone to that college before for my bachelor's. Mm-hmm. But I went back to explore the room again since I was back for my master's, because I got my bachelor's there during the era of COVID. So I hadn't been on campus since 2019 or 2020. So like right when the pandemic started. So I was just in there for good old times because I identify as genderqueer or gender non-conforming, and I'm bisexual, so yeah.
I'm a non-binary lesbian over here.
Ooh.
Socially awkward, but also the life of the party.
Even though we're called no labels, we do still want to explain our labels.
I am gonna, yeah.
But yeah.
Mo labels.
Mo labels.
I think we should add Mo label. No.
Mo labels. But, yeah, we just kind of met in the LGBTQ room. I think we hung out a couple of times before.
Yes, we did. We hung out. I think you went to my dorm at least once, and I went over to yours a couple times.
That's true, you did. Yeah.
We played What Do You Mean SpongeBob edition.
Yeah.
And we listened to some great music and chit-chatted.
Yeah, we just kind of vibed together because we were low-key kind of being ignored.
Real. That's a whole different thing. We won't get into.
It's not a thing to really get into, but
Right.
it was just, we were just hanging out because there was no one else in the room really paying attention, so.
Real. So that's how the vibes work. And, I probably wasn't doing well at this point in time, but
No.
I had a tendency to try and pretend that everything was better than it was. So
Real.
I got into a car crash on the way back to campus in January of 23, the same semester we met.
Wait a minute, you didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
You never told me this.
Okay, tune in.
Wow, this is a first for all of us.
So I was on my way back to campus with my ex. I went up and we had like this whole watch party for one of the shows that we were watching together at his parents' house with all of his like hometown friends. And on the way back, well, first of all, before we leave, we realize it's snowing. And I checked the weather, and we're basically in somewhat of a blizzard. We're getting heavy snow for, like, the next foreseeable, 5 hours.
I remember that, yeah. I remember that.
And, you know, as we're coming back, I'm like, I have a really bad feeling about this. We don't get 5 minutes away from the house before we have to, this was a narrow road, so we had to veer off to the side to let someone else pass us. And we got stuck in a ditch.
Been there.
So someone else came by and pulled us out. And we went on our way. And then we were on an interstate. We were on Route 4. And someone pulled out of just a street side business or something. This was the beginning of Route 4. And they just stopped in the middle of the road and didn't give us enough time to stop because the roads were icy.
Damn.
So we rear-ended a massive vehicle in a very tiny vehicle. And the vehicle we were in crunched up like a tortilla chip, and it was such a terrifying experience, and I kept having nightmares about it for a really long time, and I was losing sleep. My mental health was tanking, and I'm meeting you around this time, so I'm trying not to show it too much because, we just met.
Yeah. And
then one day I'm like, hey man, I'm not doing great.
Yeah. That was a big turning point in our friendship because it's we've been hanging out and I really wanted friends and I was still with my abusive ex at the time. So I didn't think I was really easy with making friends, which I'm actually really good at making friends. I made too many friends, but that's what happens. Things change. The more the merrier, I guess. Hey man, I feel bad for some of them. I just kind of low-key ghosted and I feel bad for it, but I feel like it's too late to apologize. But yeah, we had hung out a few times, and then one day Ruby texted me and they were like, hey, I'm not doing good, I'm dropping out of college.
Can you take me home?
Can you take me home? and I said, yeah man, I had nothing going on. I had a lot going on. That was a lie. I was procrastinating
so much. The state that I arrived to your dorm in was not great. I had a trash bag of clothing, a black trash bag of clothing,
and you look so fucking exhausted and sick.
Yes,
and,
do not endorse this or recommend this by any means at all unless a doctor tells you so. I had been drinking smoothies for 3 weeks straight. I couldn't stomach solid food, and I wasn't drinking much water. And on top of that, I wasn't sleeping much. And then I progressed into me thinking that all of my friends hated me.
Yeah.
So it just got too much for me, and it reached a point where my mom begged me to drop out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I don't care about the loans. They go away eventually.
Yeah, I get that. Because the reason why, when you texted me that, this was my first... You and I met when it was my first semester back in college after I had taken a gap year.
Yeah.
Because I took a gap year because I went to the worst college ever and had the same experience that you were going through in its own fashion and form, where I dropped out after my first semester because I just couldn't take it, and I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder during that time.
Yeah.
I did my life, and not to get too triggering or anything, but
First episode.
First episode. And we're just talking about how we met.
Yeah, guys, we have a very deep backstory.
We quite literally have. You've been sending me a lot of memes saying like, when you have the same deep lore but
In
not
different
in the
fonts.
Right, yeah. And that's kind of why we've been friends this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much to relate on.
Oh!
Just even beyond.
We're not even talking about the biggest part of our friendship of all. Like, after you dropped out of college, we saw each other once in a whole year.
One time.
But we still called every once in a while. We still texted each other.
Yes.
We still
Loved a
kept
good
in
update.
touch. Yeah. We just still stayed in touch and everything. And then one day, Ruby was like, I'm going to be 20 minutes away from you now.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Man, the series of events that led to that are a nightmare.
Yeah.
A trigger warning for this portion of this episode. I had lost my mom a couple months beforehand, and I moved in with my dad, and I stopped talking to a lot of my family members. And then things kind of got rocky for me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna move to...
We'll honk it out.
Honk it out. I'm just gonna move back to where I came from.
Move back to my hometown.
Yes.
Move back to my hometown.
Move back to my college town, really. Because I didn't live here very long. I didn't live here very long. I wasn't raised here. I was like, I'm gonna go back. I feel like I had to confront a lot, first of all, to just come back here.
Yeah.
Because so much happened here. I ran through so many friendships. I feel like I hurt so many people, and I felt the need to try and make amends. And with some people, I realized that I can't, but I tried, and that's important to me.
Yeah. Some people won't always forgive you for everything.
Exactly, and they don't have to.
No,
they don't have to. I did what I did, and it's very unfortunate that I did that, and I'm sorry that I did, but...
It's more important to just let go of that guilt, because you're like, even if they don't like me, they have the right to not like me, and I understand.
Yeah, I get it. I would be really mad if anybody did the things that were done to the people that I'd met.
Yeah.
But, you know, I came back, and I was like, I'm gonna have a time. I'm gonna have a grand old time, and I'm up here now with my partner, and I live closest to my two besties. Yes. My other bestie comes back for college.
Where's my...
For her.
Oh. I'm like, where's my slushie?
We got slushies, guys.
We got slushies. I got a Slurpee.
And I got a big gulp.
Those are
Pina colada. Busting.
Those are supposed to be for the fountain drinks, not the...
Too bad.
Yeah, so we met at college, and then we just, like, never saw each other, and then eventually you moved near me, and then suddenly we just started seeing each other almost every single day.
Almost every day, man.
Almost every day, just seeing each other, hanging out at my apartment, or hanging out
and
at
I
yours.
feel like my mental health is still in a rocky place, but on one side I feel like I'm not as alone with it.
Oh my god,
as
no,
I was moved like an hour away from everybody.
Ever since the last time I like saw you in person, well, other than the time that we hung out with everyone and went to that stand-up show and everything,
mm-hmm.
But when you asked me to take you home, you look so different now. You look so much better than you used to. Like,
Man,
as a compliment.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure I cried for like 3 hours before I messaged you. I was like, I truly had nowhere else to go, and I was like, it's gonna have to be the green-haired girl that I met. And
man.
It worked out for the best.
Hey,
Here
man.
we are. No labels.
No labels. I don't know. I'm just that type of person where if, like, you've been nothing but kind to me and, like, you're in a tough spot, I've always been that person. I'm the person who buys Plan B pills for my friends. Like, I'm the person who's like, you need to go to the clinic? I got you. I've taken someone to get, like, a shot for chlamydia before. Like, I'm always that person, so I have no problem helping people out with that. So
People supporting people.
yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, I'm so kind. Such a flex. I'm trying to, like, brag about myself, but
Humble brag.
humble brag. I'm just a very kind person, and that's, like, one of my favorite personality traits I have.
Yeah. But, you know, moving back to the college town and seeing you almost every day and, like, really connecting with you in a headspace of, like, getting this new start where I'm not under college pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, like, greatest person ever still. Greatest person ever still.
Thank you.
It's so much fun, first of all, every time we hang out.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, so important, the bond that we have, to me.
Yeah, of course. Same
because
here.
I feel like we talk about so much that I really don't go to other people and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And before my mother died, I lived in a third city. Shocker. Whoa. Boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. And my best friend in that city has kind of also gotten the same person in her life from moving to college town. So I'm like, man, we're going to have to all meet up one day.
Yeah, of course. I would love that.
Everybody, drop your lore.
Yeah.
Sit in a circle, bring a blanket, stuffed animal if you will, drop your lore.
No, because I really needed that too, because after my ex and I broke up, I was like, I need friends. I can't, because it was more that I need personal, like, in-person friends, because I was calling my mom, my grandma, my cousin, my other friend from my hometown, my best friend from my hometown, and then, like, I'm sure I was calling someone else, I don't remember who, but I was calling like 4 or 5 people almost every single day. I was calling one of them, and then it got to like 2-3 weeks after my ex and I break up, and I'm like, I can't keep irritating these people. Like, I can't keep just calling these people, so I was like, I need friends. And then you said that you were moving by at the end of April.
Everything goes
And that was
according
when
to plan.
That was when the semester ended, so summertime was around the corner for me. And another friend of mine started having more contact with me. They helped me a lot too. But yeah, things just happen for all the right reasons. And we decided to make a podcast because we hang out so much and we're so funny.
Exactly.
We're so funny.
We talked about it before. We were like, we always get that feeling, or that, like, people approaching us and being like, haha, we should make a podcast together. We'd be so funny.
Yeah.
And it's not like a mutual feeling on our end. And you made a joke one day and you were like, we should have a podcast. And I was like, we should have a podcast.
We should have a
and
podcast.
then both of us are like in agreement for the first time in our life. We have found a person who we would have a podcast with.
Yeah.
And we started like brainstorming and plotting, and as it's all coming together, it's coming together in unison. We've got these ideas and we're like, yes, boom, write it down.
Yeah, we're finally figuring it out. That's why we did 3 tester episodes, because we thought we thought the last episode we did was going to be the first one we post, but I was listening to it and I was like, this isn't it. We gotta have something scripted because we went so off the rails. We were talking about everything.
Everything, and it had nothing to do with the original point of the episode, which I think was trying to get to know us.
We started talking about the Holocaust, bro. Like, what happened?
Insane. We started talking about,
the Samba Glorb, if any of y'all
Glorb.
know. We just started talking about...
I hit you black in every corner like a DVD.
We just started talking about nonsense, and I was like, because I was listening to it, because I'm going to listen to them, because I'm more of a podcast girly who likes to listen to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do the first round of editing them and everything. But I was listening to it, I was like, girl, this one's not it. This isn't gonna work.
No, this isn't gonna work.
But no, we definitely... It was so funny because I was telling you about this today, how my neighbor said that... He said that the guy that was hanging out with both of us, one of his friends that came over to my place, said that he enjoyed just listening to me and my neighbor talk because it sounded like a podcast. And then he said, we should have a podcast together. Would you want to do that? And I said, nope. Ruby and I are already doing a podcast.
Man, still, listening to it a second time, it still sounds just like the biggest flex to be like, nope, sorry. I already got a person to do a podcast with.
I already have a podcast with someone else. I was like, we're actually filming the first one tonight. I was like, we've already done 3 tester episodes, and we have an Instagram page, and we're gonna make a Spotify soon, and
we're gonna get it all going. We're gonna get the ball going.
Yes, that's exactly what we wanted to do. But, yeah, that's why we made a podcast, because we're just funny, and we have so much in common, and it's just the way that we click. It's so interesting.
Yes.
I've never had a bond with someone like this.
I know, it feels so strange for the first time
what
in my
if
life.
we're, like, friend soulmates?
Friend soulmates.
We're
locked
friends.
in.
Platonic soulmates.
Platonic, yeah.
Platonic soulmates.
Oh my gosh. I can go make like a cringy TikTok video now and be like, platonic soulmate. Right here.
Right here. Yeah. I love a good platonic soulmate. Because like my childhood best friend also is like a good like soulmate for me.
Yeah,
it's just in different
Mazarin
ways.
is a platonic soulmate for me for sure.
Uh-huh.
It was so weird because we had one of the biggest, most controversial fallouts, I feel, and
same.
In like our sophomore year of high school or
Why is that
freshman year.
literally the same thing?
I think for us it might have been freshman year because I remember hanging out with different people freshman year because I wasn't talking to Mazarin.
My childhood best friend that I'm still friends with to this day, she and I had a falling out in sophomore year of high school.
It might be sophomore. I don't know.
That's when they happen the most.
That's so fair, but I remember us reconnecting, I feel like either the summer in between sophomore and junior year, or just like straight up junior year of high school. And we have been close ever since. I feel like I tell them so much, and they be calling me out for some stuff sometimes.
I know, like, my friend from my hometown and everything, she was the first one I started going to about my ex at the time, who was not a good man at all. And she was the one who was like, girl, that's wrong. Or sometimes she would call me out on my behavior as well, being like, that's not what you should do and everything. And I'm like, I would be like, no, this isn't what I want. So I went to someone else.
Real. This isn't what I want to hear.
I know, I would like be like, if I wanted someone on my side, I would call my cousin. If I wanted someone to give me hard truth, I call my friend from my hometown. And then if I like needed to hear a harsh truth from an older person, I call my grandmother. I didn't talk to my mom about any of it.
Man.
I just talked to her for distraction. But
Sometimes it be like that.
yeah. But anyways, do you want to start talking about our interests?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Get to know us a little bit more, our identities.
Yes. I am a very hobby oriented. I love doing things that I love to do. Those things are vast. I have so many interests. I love singing. I like pretending to play instruments. I'm not good at it, but I can pretend.
I can pretend.
I can pretend. Like, I took one drum lesson in high school, and then
Ooh.
I did like 8 practices on my own, and I pretend to play drums now.
That's fair. Love a good air drum.
I know the very, very beginner basics of piano, so I'll do that every now and then.
Fair.
I'm also a gamer of sorts. I'm playing The Sims right now. Other games I enjoy are like Minecraft, Stardew Valley. I'm a peaceful gal. For the most part, anyways. Every now and then I'll play like Overwatch 2. I miss Overwatch 1 though. Giving respect where due. Also, Banjo-Kazooie, Oblivion from the Elder Scrolls series, and that's it. When I say I'm a little bit of a gamer girl, emphasis on the gamer part. And the girl is in like very tiny, like exponential print.
Real.
I also love baking. I
Yes.
love baking. My proudest creation is a banana pudding cake.
Ooh.
I still brag about it to this day, and I made it during the pandemic.
I love that.
Yeah, I love baking. I love roller skating. That one's kind of like out of left field. I feel like I don't encounter too many people who are like, I love roller skating. A lot of times I tell people that, and they're like, that's for kids.
Which is so silly.
No, it's not for kids. If there's arcades where it's 21 up after 8 p.m., I don't think it's silly for me to want to go roller skating.
Yeah. Yep.
There's whole video game factories for people who can just drink and play video games after 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But, what else do I love to do? I love my cat.
We do love our cats. We'll post pictures of our cats
Quite often.
I feel like most of our posts are gonna have cat pictures.
A lot of them.
At least 10 at a time.
At least 10 photos at a time.
Every single post is just gonna be 10 photos of our cats.
Yes. I hope you enjoy. You've been fed for the day.
You and I both take a lot of pictures of our cats as it is.
We do. I love photography. Thank you for bringing that up. My cat is my little model. I took some really great shots of her recently, and I was so proud of them, and I posted them, and people were like, ooh, so pretty. And I'm like, no, pay attention to the fact that I took these with my cell phone.
The point of photography is for people to love the photo, not the photographist. Photographist?
You're not telling me what I want to hear right now.
I mean,
No,
yeah,
I'm joking.
they should recognize
No.
you.
It's fine. I didn't post it with the intent of, like, people being like, wow, great shot. It's literally just, like, I think the caption was, like, picture perfect. And
Yeah.
I replaced the E with a U.
Yeah, picture perfect.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be, like, emphasis on the cat, but balance on the photo. And everybody was like, she's so cute. And I'm like, I know.
I know.
I know. Why do you think I had to whip out these professional level photography skills? I have never, well, I can't say I've never been trained in photography. I did it for a small portion. I did concert photography in high school.
Oh.
Actually, because I went to a lot of concerts, I performed in a lot of concerts, and I had in between time during my not performances. So
Real.
I used to photograph the other people, and then we would share them on like one big drive. Which was really fun. I love painting. Still kind of in the land of pictures. I love painting and I love drawing.
Yes, you're a very good artist, I would
Thank
say.
I'm really big on tattoo designs. I'm not much of a fan of like focusing on like a landscape or something like that. I have to be like genuinely in the mood, and that happens maybe 3 times a year.
I feel like I'm only good at landscapes right now. I'm like exploring it because I'm not that good at like tattoo designs or little artsy things.
Yeah, I like doing tattoo designs because they can be fun and spunky and kind of whatever you want them to be. But growing up, I did a lot of portraits. And not even just of, like, people I knew. I'd just sit there and just draw random, like, people I've never seen before. Right. And they're in these little goofy cartoonish styles, so I kind of took that up.
It makes sense why you love Sims.
Yeah. Still to this day, when I draw, like, people, I do them in some kind of cartoony, like, simple way instead of being like, ooh, realism.
Yeah.
But that's also why I like tattoos, because again, you can make them any style, whereas like I can make a landscape in a cartoon style, but it's gonna look like a child drawing.
Real. I would love to get a goose tattoo of some kind.
Oh my gosh, I can do that for you.
If you ever want to draw a little goose tattoo, I want it to be threatening, but like cute threatening.
Yes.
Like I thought of the knife in the mouth, but I don't.
Chainsaw.
I'm trying to think. I'll have to think of one of my favorite things that you can pick up in the game as a goose, so I'll have to replay it. Yay!
Slipper.
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 I want to grab. I don't know. I kind of want to try and see if I can get one with the little bow he has. Like the blue one specifically.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be cute. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But yeah. I would love a little goose tattoo.
Yeah, I can definitely do that for you. I love doing little tattoo designs. I'm actually behind currently though, because I had some friends from way out yonder request a couple tattoo designs from me, and I have yet to even start them.
Oh, don't worry. I ain't got the money for it yet.
I'm not even like I'll be like, ooh, I have commissions, and the commission is literally like, hey, will you draw this for me? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll do it for free.
No, I mean, like, I don't have the money to get a tattoo.
So fair.
Is there any more interests that you have, my friend?
Music. I think I already said music as a whole, but like, yeah. Heavy on the music, heavy on the arts. I like creating. Writing is another one. And just like pop culture.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Yep.
I vibe with it.
We love a good vine. I'm spinning it.
I'm spinning it.
I'm spinning it.
He's alive.
He's alive. Pork chop never learned how to swim, eh? Oh my god. Ferocious.
My cat has the zoomies currently.
She's scary. Is it time for me to introduce myself?
Yes, get into it, Alex.
My name is Slim Shady. Well, as I have mentioned once in this episode so far, I am in college. I'm getting a master's degree in sociology and literature because I'm a big bookworm. I love theories. I love learning about society and how it works. And I have to sound professional all the time. So this podcast is kind of a way for me to have something going on that isn't quite professional, but I can still, like, have fun and everything.
Undercover.
Undercover. But yeah, I love talking about literature. Well, I mean, and that's also, literature is also part of one of the other interests that I put down, which is reading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently reading 3 books at a time right now.
I'm currently reading Facebook.
I'm reading, so my coworker at my university, I work at the university, so my coworker, she has been giving me books to read that are horror manga books. I'm reading Tomi right now, in case anyone knows what that is. I just read the Spiraling one before, and then I have one more to read after. And I'm also consistently going to say that I'm in the middle of reading it. That's unfortunate because I'm kind of not. I haven't touched it since, like, January.
Real.
But, like, it's because it's a scary book. It scared me.
You're reading 3 books and I'm reading the captions on a YouTube video.
I'm also reading the selection right now, and that's just for me to read while I'm going to bed because of the fact that the other 2 books I just mentioned are horror books. The selection is a book about a girl who is, like, in the Bachelorette, basically. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, so it's not horror. It's a romance book, so it's easy to fall asleep to.
No nightmares today.
No nightmares.
He doesn't choose Jessica.
No! I've already read this book. I know exactly what's gonna happen. I just haven't read it in a really long time. I fell in love with this book probably in 7th grade. Yeah, because it was one of the first series that got me into being a huge bookworm. It was the Selection series. It's a trilogy. And then Percy Jackson. And then Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What else? There was another book series. My God, Maisie.
She's got the zoomies.
She's flipping out. She's running.
Well, top never learned how to swim, eh?
But yeah, I'm a big reader. I love reading. I'm getting a degree in reading. If you really think about it.
Getting a degree in words.
Coming from someone, me who's dyslexic. Okay, and then I like racquetball. I've been doing that for gym and workouts recently. I like going to the gym, but I like racquetball recently. I like doing that after work. I just go and play racquetball, and sometimes my friend joins me, sometimes they don't. So it's a fun time. I love hanging out with my friends. My friends are very important to me. My coworker and I are friends, and then obviously Ruby is my friend, and then I have another friend, and then another friend.
And then all the friends that you could think of.
All the friends you could think of.
All the friends you could think of. I have them.
All of them. I have all the friends. I know they're doing well, because I'm doing well. I love my friends.
Is he here in the room with us?
Ooh, No Labels Talent Show?
Make it a hashtag on Instagram.
On Instagram.
On the Instagram.
And on the Insta of grams. Okay, and then the last 2 things I have to say is I'm big on cooking. I love cooking. I'm such wifey material, y'all. You guys don't even know.
Alex is big on cooking, and it works out great for us because I'm into eating.
I love cooking. It's really fun.
I love eating the things you cook.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like they genuinely come out so well, especially now that like my blackened chicken Alfredo is like incredible. Like it is. I have gotten that recipe down to a freaking T, my guy. Like it is to a T. I've been making this stuff. I have been perfecting this recipe for about 4 years now. Because I started making it. No, that's a lie. 2 years. I'm such a liar. My pants are on fire.
That boy's a liar.
That boy's a liar. But no, I've been making that for 2 years though. But that's still a long time to like perfect a recipe. And I think I have perfected mine. So, and then music. I'm a big music person. I like music. I like podcasts as well. So auditory is a huge thing for me. I love music so much, which is so funny because we're going into music talk.
I know.
Oh,
I have
wow.
to turn my phone back on because I have all of my information there.
So fair.
Okay. My cat has thumbs now. I'm scared.
Wait a minute. She
Did you not just hear it open?
She literally just knocked the door down.
Boom.
She literally.
I like to think she just stood on her hind legs and was like, and opened the door.
That would be so
She's
funny.
got thumbs now.
She has thumbs. Wait a minute. Skinwalker?
Didn't leave any windows open when I left.
Oh no. Don't make me think about it.
Okay. Let's get into the music talk, shall we?
Yes. I feel like I know my top 3. Well, sort of. I know 2 of my top 3 artists. So basically how this is going to go. Would you like to tell them how this is going to go? Since this was your idea.
So the way that we have it set up is we're going to talk about our top 5 songs and you know why we like them so much, and then our top 3 artists.
Yes.
Like our favorite artists. And why we like them so much.
More of a way for y'all to get to know us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our music taste is very interesting.
Get to gobble it up.
Gobble!
Gobble!
Gobble it! Nope.
It's eating.
It eats.
The it in question is me.
It's
eating.
It's eating.
Gosh, reminds me of the meme I saw where it was like, don't forget to feed your bass player. They just set like a bowl of beans in front of his cage. He reaches out, handful grabs.
Oh my
beans
gosh.
straight out the bowl.
Beans. I can't do the deep beans. I wish I could. That would be such a cool thing.
Beans.
Beans. That boy's a liar. I just saw
That
it.
bean's a liar.
That bean's a liar. That's so cheesy.
Well, we're making a taco now. There's beans and cheese at the party.
Oh, that's interesting. But baked beans is not refried beans.
No.
Or black beans.
Whose taco night is this? Is this the Brits?
Is this what the Brits think Americans do?
Yeah, probably.
They're like, beans? That's interesting.
What beans are you tacos for?
Every British person hates us. If you're British, why are you listening to us?
If you're British and you also hate Britain, welcome.
Welcome. This is a safe space.
This is a safe space.
How do you guys feel about the... I'm not going to get into that. I was going to talk about the Queen.
Okay, so I have my tops all written down, so I'm gonna go ahead and info dump on you guys about my music taste, because man, can I talk about it.
Real, me too, though.
So I'll do my songs first. That way you can get, like, a sense of what I listen to, and if you want to, you can try and, like, guess what my top 3 artists are before we get there. Good luck.
Oh, what a game.
What a dazzling experience. So my first song is Ruby Fields by Sarah and the Sundays. You can imagine. I'm Ruby. It's
Ruby.
a field. I love a field.
I love a good fields.
I do plan on getting a tattoo of this done at some point. I did have a design. I'm gonna have to resketch it, unfortunately.
Oh.
But the second one is quite a jump from there. Because we go from Ruby Fields by Sarah and the Sundays straight into Killin' in the Name by Rage Against the Machine.
Of course.
Naturally.
Naturally.
And then we're gonna, like, reel it back a little bit for number 3, All in My Head by Hobo Johnson. Specifically, the recording that takes place on the roof by A Fistful of Vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend. Love the lyrics in that version. Number 4, Francesca by Hosier.
Alright.
What a masterpiece of lyrics. Gorgeous. Beautiful. I need a symphony to play it. And number 5, this one feels a little, like, unhinged to say, I feel, but it's Your Needs, My Needs by Noah Kahan. You can really tell a lot by my mental state if you know the song. And if you know the song, shut up.
You know, it's so sad for me to say this, but I don't know any of those songs.
That's okay.
I know who Hosier is out of all of that.
You also know Rage Against the Machine.
That's true, yeah, I do know Rage Against the Machine.
Hobo, I feel like I've talked about a little bit with you, but I don't really deep dive into it because he's not exactly everyone's taste in music.
Mm-hmm.
He's, I feel, more like poet-based, and I love poetry, so I get along well with that. And as for Noah Kahan, I love him. I was listening to him the semester that I went to college, the first semester I was in college, and then he released like a full album for the song that I found him from, and I listened to that as I was dropping out. Slay!
Real.
And then I listened to the expansion of that album, and then I listened to the double expansion of that album. And as you can imagine, Noah Kahan is one of my top 3 artists.
Yeah, I think we just figured that out.
Yes. I love the albums. They're so meaningful, and I feel like they align a lot with my past and some of the feelings that I felt and some of the things that I couldn't verbalize.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I vibe with that entire situation. Stick season will all be here forever. Stick season forever. All of it. Also, confidence. Also, part of me. Love it all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in my top 3 is Hosier. I didn't deep dive into it, but I did say that I needed a symphony to play it, so that was probably also guessable. I love a lot of the stuff that Hosier has done. I loved Take Me to Church when it first released.
Oh, for sure.
And I didn't realize that he made more songs after that because my little pea brain was too young to actually think about, like, following him and looking him up.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he just, like, he made one good song and disappeared. And then I got
He's
older.
making a comeback because of Brittany Broski.
Oh, that's a controversial take.
That's a very controversial
take.
From an outsider's perspective, the only reason why I've heard more about Hozier is because of Brittany Broski. My personal experience. My truth.
So what happened is I encountered Hozier when I was like probably 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Take Me to Church, naturally.
Right.
And that was like the only one I had ever heard from him until I was like 17. And then I seen that like it was this thing on TikTok where everybody was like, Hozier lesbian, Hozier lesbian. And I was like, you mean the guy who sang Take Me to Church? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
So I did like a little research on it. And I was like, oh crap. He made music before that song. He made music after that song. And I was just out of the loop. As a lesbian, I'm quite offended.
As a lesbian, what was I thinking?
Where have you been, Loca?
Oh my gosh.
So I started, deep diving back into his music. Francesca is a really good song to me because vocally, it's beautiful. Lyric-wise, it has so much meaning. It's amazing. And then my third top artist is Hobo Johnson.
Okay.
You probably guessed that if you realized how nitpicky I was about the performance. I really, really love the Fistful of Vinyl version of the song, All in My Head. Because I feel like the lyrics are... The lyrics are different from the studio recorded version that isn't taking place on a rooftop. And I feel like he really performed there. Whereas in a studio, it's like, just sing the song, man.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot more effort on making it sound polished, whereas with the rooftop version, it's so much more like emotion, and he gets to be himself and add his fun, funky flair. Other songs by him that I enjoy, Jordan's House, and What's the AQI of This Bong Rip, and also any other song in his discography, including Drake Diss.
That was a lot. I'm so proud of you. This is a lot of music. I love that. I wish I knew more about your artists and your songs, but I really don't.
I can deep dive into that any day that you like. Just know that when you open it, it is like the crate from the Cat in the Hat movie that like takes you to another world.
I love that. Well, I'm not as prepared as Ruby is for this. So I'm just gonna tell you guys my top 3 artists because I feel like that's a lot easier.
Yeah, and if your favorite songs are by them, that's...
Oh, I'm not doing the artist for favorite song. I'll say they're my favorite songs of theirs, and then I'll go on to actual favorite songs I have. So my top favorite artist is actually, you might be surprised that I say this instead of who you might think I say, is Melanie Martinez.
No, yeah, I feel like we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I've been following Melanie Martinez since her first album came out. So watching her develop, like, I bonded with my ex-girlfriend at the time when K through 12 came out, and we bonded over that film and being Melanie Martinez fans. And then when Portals came out, I bought the vinyl record for it. Or I didn't buy it, my ex bought it. Thanks. I still have it. Because it's a good vinyl.
And I'm taking the K through 12 record.
Dumbass. But yeah, Melanie Martinez. My favorite song on all three of her albums. My favorite song on her first album is "Pacify Her." That's a good
really
song
good one.
on the Crybaby one. In K through 12, I loved Show and Tell. It was either Show and Tell or Lunchbox Friends. Those are my two favorite songs on there. And then in Portals, my favorite song in that one is The Contourist. The Contortionist. That's it.
The Contourist.
The Contourist.
Girl, you look snatched.
I'm trying to think if there's another song on that album I truly, really love. I love Nymphology. That's a good song on that album as well. My second favorite artist is the one you probably are expecting, Lil Darky.
Yep, I saw that coming. I also love him.
Lil Darky is kind of underground. I don't know if I could really say he's underground or not.
I feel like he's had a couple clips of his songs go viral, but I don't feel like he's amassed too large of a following for people to be like, hey, man.
Yeah, because he's never been on tour, I don't think, and he's never announced a tour. Yeah, Lil Darky, some of my favorite songs. One of the song that got most people into him was Holocaust. That was one that got me into him. Actually, no, it wasn't Holocaust that got me into him. It was actually Ha Ha. Ha 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 ha. Sing along while the clown slips and fall. That's the one that I got into.
My personal favorite from him is Anxiety. I do like the more chill tone, but also Swamp has me kind of in a chokehold recently.
I know sometimes you get in the car and you're like, Swamp!
Swamp!
I would say another good song of his, one of his more chiller songs that are kind of like, if you're feeling sad and down, Cold Outside is a really good song. It's getting cold outside. Put your jacket, put on your jacket, put on your jacket.
Put on your jacket. Is the jacket here in the room with us?
And of course, there's also Genocide, Jack Daniels. I can list off so many. Whoop. Where's some other ones I like? Meth Head Freestyle. That's the one he did with a bunch of other people. Like, there's just so many I can name off of his songs that I really like. Genocide. I don't know if I already said that one or not. But what would my third? I feel like my third favorite artist isn't simply because of the music. She is technically my number one artist, but not because of her music. That's why I'm putting her at third. But because I love her so much, it's just Miley Cyrus. I am the biggest Miley Cyrus supporter. Not in the terms of like I buy her merch or anything, but in the terms of I have never stopped loving her. In the terms of I grew up with this woman my whole life. I was watching Hannah Montana when I was 5. Like I was watching it when it came out as a child, like a youth. Like a toddler. So I've loved her forever. When her Bangers era happened, I was supporting her, and bro, I was in middle school. I still loved her. Nothing made me stop. Nothing can make me hate you. So she's my number one love in my entire life. But I couldn't put her as my number one artist simply because her music is good. It's just not what I listen to consistently. Right. Although I do love her Heart of Glass. That was a good song she did. I loved her little rock era. It was really good. I like Flowers. It's a nice bop.
I'm willing to maul anyone who thinks that she created Why Do You Only Ever Call Me When You're High.
She didn't create that.
I know. But there are people who are like, oh my gosh, this song by Miley. And I'm like, it's not by Miley.
It's not by Miley. It's by Arctic Monkeys.
You shut your mouth right now.
Oh my god, it's kind of like how people think someone, it's like Kelly Clarkson. How they're like, every time she does a cover, it's hers.
That's not the case.
It's not the case.
You're not.
But yeah, those are my top 3 favorite artists. Let me just look through my likes list and I'll give you, I can definitely tell you Suffer With Me. Let me look at the artist because that is a phenomenal song that I love. Suffer With Me by, I cannot pronounce that, Louis? Hello? Hello?
Louis?
Louis?
Liu?
Lou?
Liu?
Lou?
I think it's Liu.
It's called Suffer With Me. It doesn't have any lyrics in it, but it's definitely one of my favorites because it sounds like you're having an anxiety attack, and I resonate with that.
Kim got a cool rock in her necklace.
Iconic. Oh, I can name another top favorite song is Bloody Mary by Lady Gaga. I love that one, especially when they go Gaga, Gaga. It's because the bass in that one is just on point.
We love to see it. We do.
That girl's a liar. My favorite song is That Girl's a Liar. Biden Obama edition.
Biden Obama edition is so wild.
That's so funny. I would say my third favorite song is actually Terminally Online Dude Signs Record Deal. That's what it's called, and it's by Lil Darky. It's so funny. Look Back at It from A Boogie with the Hoodie is a pretty good song in my opinion. I could listen to that every day. It's one of my favorites for sure. Ooh, Mercy by Kanye West. That's a big song I love. I love that song a lot as well. For shits and giggles, Neon Tide by Dat Boy.
We're now on to books that we enjoy.
Books.
Words.
Because you and I both like to read.
I do. It's not something I do often, unless you want to include reading subtitles and reading Facebook as reading. But like book-wise, I don't pick up a book a lot because I'm usually so distracted with so many other things because I enjoy doing stuff that actually requires my attention and hand focus.
Mm-hmm. You like to do stuff with your hands.
Yeah. And it's hard to do that when I'm reading.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy reading. I enjoy a good book every now and then, although once I got to adulthood, the books just didn't hit as hard as they did in elementary school.
It's because you had the time to do it then, now you don't.
Real.
Or at least it's not like, not a lot of people, I know my cousin is this way, but not a lot of other people are this way, where when they're wanting to relax, like when she wants to relax, she just reads a book. Some people turn on TV, or some people play video games, some people just do whatever schoolwork. She just reads a book. She just is like, I've had such a long day, I want to read a book.
I'm gonna read a book.
And I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's how I want to be, and that's why I'm reading so many books at one time. So I just want to constantly be reading books.
You are what I aspire to be.
When I'm not reading a book, I'm watching something like Death Note. Currently watching Death Note. Would you like me to talk about my favorite books quick?
Go for it.
So, some of the books that I would highly recommend to someone who is queer is The Art of Being Normal, or If I Was Your Girl. Both of them are about transgender people. I think The Art of Being Normal is about a transgender man, and then If I Was Your Girl is about a transgender woman. They're both cute little romance love stories, and it has, the whole little, I'm in the closet, and I pass and everything, and I have to come to this conclusion if I want to expose myself or not.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both really cute books. I highly recommend if you like a little LGBTQ romance book. It's not like super romance, it's a young adult romance. So obviously there's going to be some comedy here and there in it. But what else? Stephen King's It. Not done with it because there's 1,152 pages, and I think I'm on page 493. So I'm getting somewhere. I'm almost halfway there. I'm close, but I haven't picked it up in a hot minute, unfortunately. But that book is actually, it's not like super scary in my opinion. But a couple of scenes did make me super scared to fall asleep at night. There was a scene where a black lagoon monster was like, the Pennywise was the black lagoon monster, and the scene where he's like on top of the little boy he's about to kill, I'm like, ooh, I don't know what it is. That one scared me. That one I had to fall asleep with the light too. An author that I could say is my favorite would be David Lenthian. I've already said some series that I've read over the years, and I actually am going to try and read the Twilight series. I have never read the Twilight series a day in my life.
I love the Twilight series. I didn't read it, I watched it. Call me a poser if you want to.
Well, that's the thing. I've only watched it too, and I've only heard what people say is in the books. So I want to actually read it for myself.
I don't like series books. I like one and done books.
Yeah.
Series books I feel tug on the heartstrings too much.
Yeah, I mean, like, series books are also like a commitment, and that's why sometimes I personally like to have a one book as well, where it's just like that's all it is, because like when I make that decision to read Twilight, that's a commitment, because it's like you shouldn't read Twilight and then read something else and then read New Moon. Like, you're supposed to do it in order. You can't switch back and forth. So, yeah, that's and it can take like quite some time depending on how fast of a reader you are and how often you can read a book.
Right. For me, I do like one and done books. I like short story books. I like books where there's like one recurring theme, but it's a different story each time. Like Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Where it's all kind of like odd and just...
I think you like the book that I'm reading right now, Tommy. Tommy.
What else? I'm a big fantasy person, I fear. I love...
I fear?
I fear. I'm a big fantasy person, I fear. I love, like, reading, just, like, faraway kingdom stories and just, like, silly stuff like that. But I don't want, like, the child version.
Right.
Don't give me Princess Lives Happily Ever After. Give me Princess Destroys 7 Kingdoms.
I love that. Game of Thrones style.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game of Thrones
Except
style.
I'm not watching Game of Thrones.
Except Game of Thrones, reading the books, I could never. No, I am challenging myself enough by reading Stephen King's It, because I love reading literature, and I want to prove that I can read a Stephen King novel and finish it, and I'm not proving that point very well, because I started reading it in December, and I have yet still not finished it in June, almost July. But that's because I'm also in college, so I have every right to say that I haven't finished it, because in college I read a lot. In college, I have to read at least, I don't know, I'd say over 1,000 pages in one class a semester. One class alone in a semester. So...
yeah, you do a lot of reading.
I do a shit ton of reading.
You go to college for words. That's how they get you.
I quite literally do go to college for words. I do so much reading all the time. Like, quite literally, I would say a good 90% of my major is reading, 9% is writing, and then 1% is showing up to classes.
That's so fair.
That is quite literally my class. That is what my time for my class is.
Yes. I would consider myself a sci-fi fan as well. I love Ray Bradbury's like short stories. I know that they turned it into a show at one point, and I would love to find it and watch it. But I just remember like reading some of Ray Bradbury's stories and being like, holy shit. Like, I loved The Veldt. I always thought that one was really cool and interesting to pick apart. I love stories with depth where I can be like,
Yeah. What is that?
what is that?
Lore. Lore. I love lore.
Basically. As far as favorite books go, man, the ones in my childhood just hit different. Like Bridge to Terabithia. She knocked the heart out of me. I also loved The Giver. I loved the movie and the book version.
I have seen both and read as well. I've also read Her Number the Stars. Did you ever read that?
Nope.
It's so good. If you ever get the chance, I still think it's a good read to this day.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be quick.
Yeah, I liked The Giver and I liked Bridge to Terabithia. I read the first Hunger Game book and it trungertized me.
Traumatized.
No, it traumatized me. I wouldn't watch anything, or I wouldn't read or watch anything new, like, outside of school area, and even then, like, after reading that, I don't remember anything I read in between, like, 8th grade and sophomore year of high school.
That's fair. You actually reminded me, another series I did read was the Divergent series. Let me tell you, those movies were trash. The books were also kind of trash too, not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh, I have a genuine appreciation for people who can sit down and like read series books like Harry Potter and like Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god, how?
Well, how?
I love a good trilogy, don't get me wrong. Like, Percy Jackson, though, is the only book series that I've read that's like, because Percy Jackson, I believe, is 7 books. I could be wrong, it could be less.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me think. Hold on. There's the first one, Lightning Thief, then Sea of Monsters. I don't remember. There's either 5 or 7. I can't remember. I think there's 5. And so I read all of those, but other than those, all the other book series I've read, The Selection, there's The Selection, The Elite, and then The One. It's a 3-book. I do a lot of trilogies. I don't do a lot of, like, full series of books. Because, like you said, like, I've thought about reading Harry Potter, but the idea of reading 8 books that get longer over the book span, like, the first book is probably, like, maybe 300 pages, and the 8th book is, like, 700 pages. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. Actually.
Also, I don't care. I haven't even watched all the movies, dude.
I'd fight J.K. Rowling in a 7-Eleven parking lot if given the chance.
Yeah, like, I kind of just don't care. I was never that big into Harry Potter, even though I have been to Harry Potter Worlds in England. So, not to flex, but I've been to England, and I went to Harry Potter World, and I went to the Oxford University that they filmed some scenes of Harry Potter in. But do I remember any of the movies? No. Have I read any of the books? Nope. I didn't even see Deathly Hallows. Never watched it.
For, I want to say, my 19th birthday, Mazarin and I like made a non-alcoholic butterbeer and binge watched the whole series.
Oh wow,
And
I love
thought
that.
It was really fun.
I love that. That's so cute. Yeah, no, I can't imagine reading that long of a book series.
No,
You keep dropping your Slurpee.
dropping. I keep throwing it at this point.
What is happening?
Start holding it from the bottom. Jeez.
Literally, when we got back to Ruby's apartment, they were like saying that the cat always knocks over the cups and then throw it toward the TV.
And I'm not even doing it like intentionally. It's the fact that I'm like holding it by the lid and shaking it, and then there's so much like weight.
Inertia.
It's so much weight in the bottom of the cup that it just goes flying without the lid. And I'm like, no. I've thrown it like 3 times.
Real. Well, is there anything else we would like to talk about? Because we have been going for about an hour and 18 minutes now.
I think we're good.
I think we've given the people a bit of an idea of who we are, and
They've seen our personality. They've heard our words.
they can already tell, hopefully, from this podcast that we have lots more we want to talk about.
Guys, I have a lot of words locked and loaded in the chamber.
We have a lot of topics that we would like to discuss that hopefully then over time as our audience grows, we can get more topics to discuss from you guys.
Yeah.
We would love to make a Reddit account eventually, but I feel like we will
Read
probably...
it in the asshole stories.
Yeah, we'll start doing some Reddit stuff, I guess, in the meantime and everything. But I feel like once an audience base gets a bit bigger, maybe we can make our own subreddit, and then we can interact with the audience.
Here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping.
Well,
give us 500 views. First episode.
First episode, please.
First episode, 500 likes. Come on, guys. I know we can do it. Let's up it even more. 5 million likes.
Dream guest on my podcast?
Who's your dream guest on the podcast? Jojo Ziwa.
No. Willow Smith, my favorite Nepo baby.
Oh, we love Willow.
We do. I hope to see Willow one day and tell them how much I love them. Because Willow.
Dream guest on my podcast? I don't know. I could really pull out the card and say Jenna Marbles if I really wanted to.
Jenna Marbles.
Imagine having Jenna Marbles on here with us. She would be so lovely.
I want to get someone who's really controversial and just interrogate them.
Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson.
I'm only saying that because...
Did you mean the things you said about your cat?
Shane Dawson, did you know you did blackface more than makeup looks and you have a makeup palette?
The people are dying to know.
Or we can get Jeffrey on here. Did you know saying the M word doesn't mean anything other than just being racist?
It's so wild.
It's not an insult to throw at anyone. It's simply racism.
Real.
Yeah, oh my god.
Well, guys, this has been
fun.
This has been fun. This has also been
No labels. No labels.
Even though
no
we just
labels.
spent 2 minutes labeling people on the internet.
We literally just spent 2. Yeah. Yep.
Anyways,
I'm
Ruby.
I'm Alex.
And this has been No Labels.
There's been no labels.
Bye.
I hope you guys liked our first podcast. Please give us a little subscription.
A little subscription, a
A little like, a little share.
Hit that like button, guys. Smash that share button. Subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications.
Ring the bell for notifications. Did you know that 70% of the listeners are not subscribed to the channel? Bye, y'all.
See you guys.